Hi, everyone. I'm Nicole. I'm 35 now, and I teach third grade at a public school in Savannah, Georgia. For almost 8 years, I was married to a guy named Derek, 37, sells commercial insurance, and when we first locked eyes, I honestly believed I'd hit the jackpot. But this isn't some fairy tale romance. This is the story of how the man I swore to love forever slapped me in front of his mother in her dining room, and how I made absolutely sure that moment haunted him for the rest of his days. Before I go any deeper, let me know in the comments, where are you tuning in from tonight? City, state, country, drop it below. And if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We share real stories of betrayal, boundaries, and comebacks. You're not going to want to miss the rest of this one. Because what Derek and his mom Evelyn never realized was that I'd already started putting the pieces together. I had a strategy forming long before that hand ever touched my face. Let me take you back so it all makes sense. Derek and I met at a church picnic nearly 10 years ago. He had this easy laugh, paid attention like I was the only person in the room, and we clicked instantly over gospel music and big dreams of kids and a house full of noise. His mom, Evelyn, 60 now, retired from the credit union, was warm cookies and hugs when we started dating. Sunday supper at her house turned into the highlight of my week. Fried chicken, collard, her famous 7-layer caramel cake. I thought I'd been handed a bonus mom on top of a husband. Derek's an only child. I didn't think that was a red flag at the time. My folks live up in Charleston, my little brother's in Columbia. We love each other, but we don't smother. I assumed Evelyn and Derek had the same healthy distance. 2 years in, we tied the knot. Bought a little brick ranch 15 minutes from Evelyn's place in a neighborhood with tree-lined streets and great schools. We were mapping out the future, babies, vacations, the whole picture. Life felt solid. Then, 3.5 years into the marriage, Derek's dad dropped dead from a massive heart attack. 1 minute he was mowing the lawn, the next he was gone. Evelyn fell apart, and I got it. 36 years of marriage erased in an instant. Derek and I circled the wagons. We brought casseroles, sat with her while she sobbed, handled whatever she needed. I wanted to be there for her. But grief has a way of twisting people, and somewhere along the line Evelyn changed. The calls started small, 1 check-in a day, just making sure my baby ate. Then 2, then 4. Derek would stop mid-sentence at dinner to take every single one. "She's lonely, Nick," he'd say when I suggested maybe we set some gentle limits. "Give her grace." I tried. Lord, I tried. Then came the little comments. "Nicole, baby, you know you put too much pepper in the greens. Those shirts need starch, honey. That's how Derek likes them. Teaching is noble, but family should always come first." Every time I brought it up, Derek shut me down. "That's just mom. She's hurting. Don't make everything a fight." I swallowed it. Told myself I was overreacting. I should have known those were warning shots. The real shift hit about 7 months after the funeral. I came home wiped out from a day with 27 8-year-olds, and the house smelled like lemon polish and eucalyptus, Evelyn's signature scent. My mugs had been moved, my pantry reorganized by package color instead of type, Derek's shirts re-ironed her way. The spare key we'd given her for emergencies was missing from the hook. When Derek walked in, I kept my voice level. "Your mom came by today and rearranged our whole house." He shrugged, scrolling his phone. "She said she was dropping off leftovers and wanted to help. Derek, she used the key and went through everything while I was gone." His eyes hardened. "She's keeping herself busy, Nicole. Don't be ungrateful." That word, ungrateful, landed like a brick. Thanksgiving sealed it. I'd been planning for weeks, heritage turkey, my Nana's mac and cheese, the works. Evelyn showed up at 7:30 a.m. with grocery bags and her own roasting pan. By noon, she'd commandeered my kitchen, slid her own mac and cheese right next to mine, and when Derek's cousin raved about it, Evelyn smiled and said, "Well, somebody has to show these young wives how it's done." The room went dead quiet. Derek chuckled like it was cute. I felt the heat crawl up my neck. Then came the 3 a.m. heart attack calls. First time we flew to the ER terrified. Tests showed nothing, stress, maybe grief. Second time, third time, fourth time, always the night Derek and I had plans. Always the same guilt trip from the hospital bed. "If I lived closer, you wouldn't have to drive all the way here in the middle of the night." I begged Derek to set visiting hours. Evelyn cried to him that I was pushing her out, that I was trying to steal her only child. He came home furious with me. Friday nights that used to be hours became, Mom needs help moving furniture. Saturday breakfasts, Sunday after church dinners, always at her house, always her rules. I started shrinking, lost 15 pounds in 10 weeks. Couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. Started wondering if I was actually the problem. Church ladies patted my arm. Honor thy mother-in-law, baby. That's biblical. Friends said, girl, all mamas are like that, pick your battles. Derek kept repeating I was too sensitive, too dramatic, making mountains out of molehills. I almost believed them. Then things escalated fast. I found out Evelyn had booked a beach house for the whole family over the 4th, without asking me, after Derek and I had already planned to visit my parents. He dismissed me. Mama already paid the deposit. We'll see your folks another time. I discovered large withdrawals from our joint account, new patio furniture for Evelyn, a new iPad, and get this, a complete bedroom set for when she eventually needs to stay with us. Derek's response. She's on fixed income now. She can't live alone forever. She started badmouthing me to the family. At cookouts, cousins pulled me aside. Heard you're having a hard time adjusting. Aunt Evelyn's worried about y'all. She stood up in church during prayer requests and asked the congregation to pray for wives who struggle to put family above personal ambition. Didn't use my name. Didn't have to. Every head swiveled to me. She even called my principal saying she was concerned. My home stress was affecting my teaching. I had to sit in that office and explain, mortified, that my mother-in-law was sabotaging my career. One afternoon, I came home early and found her in my underwear drawer. She didn't flinch, just said, if you two had kids by now, you'd understand priorities. Derek co-signed a refinance on her house, 40 grand of our credit, without telling me. I begged for counseling. He agreed, then canceled the day before because Evelyn needed him. My little brother saw it when he visited, Evelyn walking in without knocking, criticizing everything, dominating every conversation. When he gently brought it up, Derek lost it. You're turning your family against my mother. I was drowning, and the two people supposed to love me were the ones holding me under. Then Derek announced Evelyn was selling her house and moving in with us, temporarily. No discussion. Furniture already purchased and in storage. The plan had been rolling for months. I finally said the word I should have said years earlier. No, we argued at her house over Sunday dinner. I stayed calm, explained we needed privacy as a married couple. Evelyn turned on the tears. How could I be so cruel after everything she'd done for us? Derek slammed the table so hard the glasses jumped. You're embarrassing me in my mother's house. I stood to leave. He grabbed my arm, spun me, and slapped me so hard my ears rang and blood filled my mouth. Silence. I tasted copper. Felt the fire spread across my cheek. Looked at the man I married and saw a stranger. Looked at Evelyn. She had her hand over her mouth, but for a split second before the fake shock kicked in, she smiled. Derek's chest heaved with rage, not remorse. Evelyn whispered, maybe a little strong, son, but she did push you. I walked out, drove 2 hours to my brother's house in Colombia, and when he saw my face, he pulled me inside without a word. Texts from Derek poured in, you're overreacting. Come home, you provoked me, mom's crying because of you, not one apology. I looked at my brother and said, I'm done. He said, good. Now we make sure you're safe and that he never forgets what he did. That slap hurt, but the clarity it brought, life-changing. I spent a week crying in my brother's guest room, then I stopped crying and started planning. Found an incredible divorce attorney, Miss Regina Taylor, sharp, no nonsense, and she listened to every detail without judgment. Her advice, document everything or it's your word against theirs. So I did. Opened my own accounts, moved half the joint savings legal in Georgia. Went back to the house with my brother while Derek was at work and photographed every important document. Downloaded a legal recording app, one-party consent state, thank God. Changed every password. Had my brother photograph the evolving bruise on my face daily. Requested medical records from all of Evelyn's emergencies. Printed bank statements showing thousands she'd spent. Screenshot the family group chat where she trash-talked me and coached Derek on how to handle his wife. Neighbors wrote statements about her letting herself in constantly. My principal agreed to document her interference. Then Regina dropped the game changer. Most abusers expect you to either disappear or crawl back broken. What if you went back, played nice, and kept gathering evidence? Risky. Brilliant. I set up hidden cameras, legal in common areas in Georgia with one-party consent, packed a go-bag that stayed at my brother's, and set a 2-month clock. I told my parents everything. My dad, quiet man, said, "Whatever you need, money, a place, muscle, we're there." My mom went full mama bear. My best friend Keisha and even our associate pastor promised daily check-ins and statements if needed. I had a team. I had a plan, I had proof building. 2 months of Oscar-worthy acting began. I came home teary, apologetic. I overreacted, I want to make this work. They ate it up. Evelyn practically glowed. I smiled while she criticized. Nodded while she lectured. Let her visit daily. Let Derek pick a counselor from her church. Recorded every session on the phone in my purse. The cameras caught gold. Evelyn on the phone saying a woman sometimes needs a firm reminder of her place. Derek admitting the slap was a reality check. Them laughing about how his dad used to keep her in line the same way. 2 months to the day, Evelyn announced at dinner her house closed Friday and movers were coming Saturday. I smiled and said, "Perfect timing. I invited some family over this afternoon too." 30 minutes later, the living room was packed. Derek's aunts, uncles, cousins, Evelyn's own sister, the pastor. I hooked my laptop to the TV, showed the photos of my face the day after the slap, played the medical report, played Evelyn saying women need reminders of their place, played Derek minimizing the slap to the counselor, showed bank records of stolen money, played the recordings of them plotting control. Gasps, tears, horror. When Derek lunged for the laptop, his uncle physically blocked him. My attorney walked in with a process server, divorce papers, and 2 500-foot restraining orders, one for each of them. The house I'd bought with my parents' down payment helped stayed mine. Joint assets split clean. Everything premarital stayed separate. They left that day humiliated, family staring daggers. The fallout was biblical. Derek violated the order twice, arrested both times. Lost major clients when the recordings spread through professional circles. Reputation shredded. Evelyn's Facebook victim post backfired the second I dropped edited clips publicly. Comments flipped overnight. Church quietly removed her from leadership. Her lifelong friends ghosted. Family split, most sided with me. His favorite aunt blocked Evelyn everywhere and still texts me on holidays. Marcus ended up moving back into his childhood bedroom with mommy after all. Only now with a new wife, who lasted 8 months before fleeing the same toxicity. Evelyn's health tanked for real this time. Stress, isolation, resentment from the son she tried to keep on a leash. Divorce finalized 6 months later. Judge granted max 5-year protection order and spousal support. Every month he writes that check, he remembers. 2 years later, I'm assistant principal now at a new school across town. Bought my own condo, sunny, quiet mine. Adopted a sassy little dog named Karma. Back in therapy, dating healthy men who respect boundaries, and I started a support circle for Black women escaping spiritual and familial abuse. I speak at churches about how honor thy parents was never meant to be a cage. Women cry, hug me, leave their own situations because they finally saw a way out. Marcus and Evelyn barely speak. She got the control she fought for and ended up completely alone. That slap was the best thing that ever happened to me. It woke me up, showed me who they really were, and lit a fire that turned me into someone unbreakable. So if you're watching this and something feels familiar, the slow erosion of your space, your voice, your peace, please hear me, document everything. Protect your money first. Build your team early. Trust your gut even when everyone calls you dramatic. You deserve a life where love doesn't require you to shrink. I'm Nicole, and I didn't just walk away. I rebuilt stronger, wiser, and freer than ever. Now I want to hear from you. What would you have done? Gone back to record like I did or stayed gone? Ever dealt with a mother-in-law horror story? Drop it below, no judgment, just real talk. If this hit home, like, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear they're not crazy. Links to hotlines and resources are in the description. You are worth protecting. Don't ever let anyone convince you otherwise. Thanks for listening. See you in the next one.